Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We're going to continue with Sarah Bombranik's Simple Abundance 365 Days to a Balanced and Joyful Life. January 17th. Harmony, achieving balance in our lives. A Chopin piano nocturne played by a novice musician will not sound the same as one played by a virtuoso. That's because the Polish composer Frédéric Chopin spent his lifetime composing and discovering through discipline and devotion when to pause and when to color the notes with passion and bravado. So it is with the concerto of our lives. Individual notes must be learned, played, and practiced daily before we achieve harmony. Above all, we must learn how to pause and set boundaries in our personal and professional lives, which is the hardest task every woman faces each day. Today's rapidly changing, complex, and mostly frightening 24/7 breaking news culture assaults us at every turn with shocks that regularly catapult us into the realm of the unspeakable. Unless we avoid television and the internet altogether, we find ourselves embedded with news anchors around the world who are covering every harrowing natural disaster or appalling terrorist atrocity. The three most terrifying words in the English language have become shelter in place. Lassoed by our heartstrings, we helplessly watch strangers in danger as these tragic events unfold in real time. Our daily round becomes a hostage as our sensibilities and sympathies are poked by a virtual cattle prod of terrors that wear us down physically, emotionally, and psychically. What should be the ordinary task of getting through the day with all our loved ones accounted for drains our energy, depletes our sense of security, and diminishes our capacity for happiness, leaving us exhausted and vulnerable. We have forgotten that silence, the pauses, is the most important part of any symphony, especially the ones our souls long to compose. Usually, when the distractions of daily life press for attention, the first thing we eliminate is the thing we need the most: quiet, reflective time. Time to think, time to contemplate what's working and what's not, so that we can make changes for the better. Even time to dream. Harmony is the inner cadence of contentment we feel when the melody of life is in tune, when somehow we're able to strike the right chord to balance the expectations of our families and our responsibilities in the world on the one hand, with our inner needs for spiritual growth and personal expression on the other. When Simple Abundance was originally published, technology was just beginning. Personal computers were rare new tools used only by the tech-minded. The internet was rudimentary at best, and even the concept of smartphones non-existent. These were new and very inviting instruments for sharing our lives with our friends and family, and it was incredibly exciting to blend our personal worlds with the bigger one out there. But the drawbacks to this kind of technological immersion weren't far behind. Did you ever see the movie Gremlins, the 1984 American comedy horror film about Billy Peltzer, a teenager who receives a strangely adorable creature called a mogwai as a Christmas gift? There are only 3 rules of care for the mogwai: keep him in the dark, don't get him wet, and don't feed him after midnight. Well, of course, these safeguards are immediately ignored, and overnight, the furry ball of fun multiplies into repugnant reptilian little monsters called gremlins, hell-bent on causing mayhem. I think of technology the same way. It looked harmless, its tools appealingly clever gizmos, but then artificial intelligence hooked up with the multimedia platforms, and the internet morphed from a plaything into an enormous badass robot ready to absorb our very souls, bit by bit, into the collective. On the simple abundance path, we begin to learn how to pause. We need to push the pause button so that we can see how much of our lives have become an artificial intelligence hologram. We can't dismantle what we can't see, and unwittingly, our internet use is written out using invisible ink by us, formulated by code breakers known as hacks. As we bring in the graces of gratitude, simplicity, and order into our lives, harmony emerges. We learn to balance demands with pleasures, moments of solitude with a need for companionship, work, and play, activity with rest, consciously connecting the wider world through the internet and withdrawing from it for the sake of our sanity and serenity. Today, just try slowing down. Approach the day as if it were an adagio, a melody played at an easy, graceful pace. Listen to the music that soothes and uplifts your spirit. And while you listen, pause to consider how all the individual notes come together harmoniously to give expression to the entire score. January 18th. Beauty, opening our eyes to the beauty that surrounds us. While the simple abundance path is gentle, its lessons are powerful. First, we learn to be grateful, no matter what our circumstances may be. In offering gratitude for our real lives, we discover how to change them for the better. As we embrace simplicity, we learn that less is truly more. This freedom encourages us to bring order to our affairs and cultivate harmony in our inner world. Going at our own pace, learning to recognize our limitations, appreciating our progress, we weave the lessons into the fabric of our daily moments until they become a part of us. Suddenly, one day we feel very much alive and desire more beauty in our personal quest. We come to a deep awareness that creating a beautiful life is our highest calling. It was as if I had worked for years on the wrong side of a tapestry, learning accurately all its lines and figures, yet always missing its color and sheen, the journalist Anna Louise Strong confessed in 1935. We understand her sentiments as life's color, sheen, and beauty call to us. But with piles of work upon our desk that must be finished immediately, if not sooner, we don't know how to respond to this inner urge other than to ignore it and work through lunch as we push our inner desire for a beauty reprieve down even further. What is needed then is a plan. Look at your calendar for the next 2 weeks. Can you find one lunch hour in the next 10 workdays to call your own? Quick, while no one's looking, block that hour out with a yellow highlighter. Now, if someone asks you to do something on that yellow-hued hour, you can honestly say, "Sorry, I've got an appointment. I can't break." Between now and then, scout your local newspaper and see if you can find an art exhibition near you. That's where you're headed, and I'll meet you there. The rest of today, look for unexpected shapes, form, and color. I once discovered the most perfect color scheme of blush and green from an heirloom peach at a farmer's market. Beauty surrounds us. We just don't notice it. Let your eyes seek and find the beauty that surrounds you. Look around your office for a compliment to bestow on another. You'll be so pleasantly surprised, so will she, to find something of beauty in the everyday of one of your coworkers. It will make you both feel fabulous. Tonight, gaze into the faces of those you love. Set the table with care and relish the preparations you make for dinner, delighting in the presentation of your meal. Light the candles, pour wine or sparkling water into your prettiest goblets, and celebrate this new awareness. It is in the details of life that beauty is revealed, sustained, and nurtured. Outside, winter's darkness closes in. Inside, you have found your own light. Lots of wonderful things to contemplate for today for Simple Abundance. I hope that you guys are enjoying these and that you're actually getting value out of them. Until tomorrow, I hope you have a blessed and amazing day.